So welcome to 1.6 Part C, where our purpose is to understand the law of supply and the law of demand, as well as to find, understand, and explain this concept called market equilibrium. And so let's take a moment and talk through a little bit of the Schlegel notes here. We do have some quick review right here. I will leave that for you to go through, and hopefully that is something you feel familiar with and is a little bit of a good reminder of certain things. We are going to begin with Schlegel Notes Part 2, and this video is a must watch. So let's discuss the first topic there, the law of supply. And so the law of supply, I'm going to paraphrase the definition that's there. When you are thinking about the law of supply, you need to be thinking about the seller. You are looking at this from the lens of the person selling the product. And so if you are selling a product, obviously you want the price to be high. And if the price is high, you will sell a whole lot of them because you will be raking in the money. If, however, you are the supplier, you are the person selling this item, and the price is low, you are not going to be very motivated to sell any of them because it's not worth much. And so some context in our little valley here is that, for instance, if the price of corn goes way down, you'll see some of our cornfields that don't even get planted because it is just not worth planting the corn. In other instances, let's say the price of corn goes crazy. You will see people ripping out hops and ripping out alfalfa fields and putting in corn because they want to supply a lot if the value is high, and they want to not supply much if the value is not high. And so one way that we can look at this on the graph here is by thinking about the relationship between the quantity supplied, and again, you're the person selling things here. If the price is very, very high, you are going to want to supply a ton of these things. Again, this is like the farmers ripping out hops and stuff like that to put in corn if the price of corn is really good. However, if the price is very low, and so you can look at my blue low there on the left, that would be down. If the price is very low, the quantity supplied would also be very low, which is the green low on the left. And so if I can't make a lot of money making it and selling it, I'm not going to make and sell very much of it. But as the price increases, so does the number of these items that I am willing to produce. And so again, just like our example with the cornfield a second ago, as the price of corn increases, you will see more and more fields planted with corn because the farmers are willing to produce more corn. So again, rounding that conversation out, everyone, the amount that a supplier or the manufacturer or whatever this happens to be, the person selling an item, they are willing to sell more of it if the price is high or as the price increases. Now that on the graph on the left, again, you need to be looking at it as if you are the seller. The graph on the right we're going to consider from the viewpoint of the buyer. And so the buyer is going to have a different opinion of this than the seller. The buyer, when the price is low, and so again the blue low there, the quantity that they will want to purchase is very high. So let's take an Apple iPhone, for instance. Let's say that it's several years from now and the iPhone 37 comes out and they are selling for only $100 each. People would flock to the Apple store. Like there would be a lineup all the way down the street. It would be going crazy because people would feel like $100 was a fantastic price to pay for the brand new fancy schmancy iPhone. But as the price of that iPhone increases, or as we move up vertically on that left axis there from low to high, all of a sudden the amount demanded starts to drop a little bit. So we move to the left. And so let's say the price goes up to 200. Well, the price went up, but now less people are interested in buying it. 300. The price went up again, less people are interested in buying it. So we are moving up because of price and left because less people are interested in buying it. We're moving toward the low on the quantity. Let's say it moves up to $400, $500, $600, $700, $800. And this is probably not really what happens, but in my model, $800 is where people would be done. They would say, I'm not going to buy any of this iPhone 37, but we all know that that's not really the case, and that people will go crazy and buy a ton of iPhones. So that being said, everyone, that is a sort of graphical representation of the law of supply and of the law of demand. And I'm going to speak to the market equilibrium before going on to the next video, but we are going to spend the next video really going in depth with market equilibrium. Now, market equilibrium is a special place, everyone, where we sort of find where these two graphs are happy together, and where the supplier, the seller, and the buyer both feel like the price is right and the amount that is being provided is right. There is one little thing that I mentioned there, I think, in the law of demand, and there are a couple things in this world that don't follow the law of supply and demand. One of them is gasoline. And so you can see in 2021 right now, the price of gas is very high, and we are still using more gas than we ever have before. And so the price of gas continues to go up, but our usage of it continues to go up as well. That sort of breaks the law of supply and demand, but almost everything else follows this model. So with that, everyone, we will be back with a graphical conversation around market equilibrium in just a moment.